Hello, welcome back to the channel Tarot Yogi. I'm Vinit, and today we have another timeless pick a card reading on what compliments do people give you behind your back. And before we jump into the reading, I quickly want to say that I will be teaching a very intensive tarot course starting December. So if you're interested in learning tarot from me, do sign up. My email ID and my Instagram handle are given in the description box below. And if you are interested in getting a personal reading, you can do the same. Having said that, we have three piles to choose from. Pile number one, we have our Rider-Waite-Smith, the gold foil Rider-Waite-Smith. Pile number two, we have our Hermetic Tarot. Pile number three, we have our Tarot of the Owls. So again, take a minute, see what pile is being called to you intuitively. The description box below will have the timestamp for your pile. And again, remember, these are general readings, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like this video, share, subscribe, comment. It means a lot. It helps the channel grow. And like I said, if you are interested in getting a personal reading from me or interested in learning tarot from me, you can definitely hit me up on my email or Instagram, and I will see you guys in your reading. Thank you. Hello, pile number one. If you chose the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot, this is your reading on what compliments do people give you behind your back. And before we start the reading, I quickly want to announce that I will be teaching a very intensive tarot course starting December end. So if you're interested in learning tarot from me, you can definitely send me an email. Or if you're interested in getting a personal reading, you can send me an email or reach out on Instagram. My details are given in the description box below. Having said that, let's jump into the reading on what compliments do people give my pile number one behind their back. And this deck is new and it's very slippery, and there were a lot of cards just falling all around before I even started the reading. So let's see if those cards come out again. Because I do think those cards were for me, not for the collector. Yeah. Okay, pile number one, we have the Fool, we have Ten of Pentacles, we have the Lovers, we have Three of Wands, the Star, Knight of Pentacles, we have Page of Pentacles, King of Swords, and we have the Three of Pentacles. What compliments do people give you behind your back is, people definitely say that you don't keep yourself stuck no matter how intense the ending is. You don't keep yourself in that shattered energy. You still find a way to keep yourself moving. And I think you're incredibly unpredictable. Pile number one, I don't think people can predict your moves. And I think they really try. I think there are definitely some people with tarot decks trying to figure out and predict your moves. But I think they're really busted tarot readers. So they're just not able to understand how can you still be so carefree and still in touch with your inner child in this very eternally youthful way despite everything that you have experienced. And compliments that you get behind your back is, even if you have very unconventional ways, we have the Fool card, right? So you could have very strong Uranus placements, or you still have that very strong Uranian energy where even your very crazy out there methods that have never been done before, you're sort of like a pioneer over here, and you definitely don't follow the crowd, and you're not interested in following the crowd. I think you're very focused on your own craft over here. We have Page of Pentacles and Knight of Swords. So you keep yourself at a very artistic level. You keep yourself very engaged in what you're trying to create, and you try to lose yourself in the process, yet you take necessary action to see it through. So your work ethic is also something people love talking about over here. We have the Knight of Pentacles as well, and we have Three of Wands. So you're very consistent, and because of your consistency and because of your dedication and discipline, you have been really able to refine whatever you create over here. And I do think that is a big part of your identity. And I'm just feeling the messages are all over the place because I'm feeling called to all the cards right now. And we have the Lovers card. So again, people might not say it this way, but they can definitely say that, you have made this vow with your inner self to to be guided by your own divinity no matter what happens. And that itself clears out a lot of burdens for you because you're not very entangled in your ego, and you're able to move out of this higher sense of divinity no matter what happens. So people also talk about your maturity, and I don't think you have always been that way. I do think life lessons have really taught you what they have to teach you. And trust me, everyone goes through life lessons, but not everyone learns what they have to learn, right? That's why they perpetually continue the same cycles. But you're clearly not doing that. In fact, you're showing up here as the star card, and the star card comes just after the tower card. So no matter what happens, right, you still find a way to rejuvenate yourself, especially when people thought it was the end of you. It was merely just the beginning. So you definitely have a lot of people in awe. People are really amazed by just your ability to adapt, like water, right? Over here. And yet you are so giving on the star card. She's pouring out the jugs, one on earth and one on in the water itself. So you're taking all this knowledge that you have gained, all these very unique experiences, and you're making something out of it. And not just making something out of it, but also helping people, yet being able to capitalize on it, right? And I do think this is in a way even tied to your soul purpose in a very major sort of a way over here, pile number one. And that's definitely talks about your connection to your divinity, because with the three of pentacles, I feel yes, you could be a great collaborator with other people when you need to, but I'm in your energy, and I feel very complete, I feel very whole, yet I feel by myself. So I do think you are a bit of a lone wolf, and you need to understand that in a way is your superpower, right? Pile number one. And it's not like you cannot rock with your pack. You definitely can, but I don't think you have met your people yet. Until then, you still have to be in your alpha wolf energy to just being able to smell your way through your success over here, right? So maybe your abilities to smell, hear, taste are also increasing right now, and understand that that is also happening, so it can help you along your process of what you're trying to achieve over here. You're patient enough to wait to get what you want, and you put in enough effort in whatever you're trying to achieve to see the results. You're not a very unreliable person. In fact, you'd be the most reliable person, pile number one. And people know that they can trust you. So people love how trusting you can be, and how they can confide in you, and they know you're not going to go around yapping, and you know how to keep a secret on your stomach, right? You're not like most people. I do sense a bit of fatigue over here as well, so try to not burn yourself out. Understand what you're trying to achieve. It's going to take a long time, yet it is going to still happen. You have taken your time to place every brick perfectly in your castle, so when it will be made, it will not be shaken by no matter what happens, right? Pile number one. So you're going to leave behind a legacy, and I do think people talk about your legacy over here, or what it is going to be, because people can't always say what it's going to be. Like, you're so unpredictable, but they can tell that you're destined for greatness, and I think a lot of it is already coming into fruition, or it will very, very soon for you. I'm noticing the pentacles on the Ten of Pentacles card in the Tree of Life formation that it is. So I do think a lot of y'all are spiritual, but I do sense that as time passes, you will get more into your spirituality. You will want to get more into your mystical and magical practices. So don't let yourself be stuck. If your life is getting extra difficult, maybe look at some magical practices that you can use to, I wouldn't say get your way through, but to sort of be in an advantageous position over here, because I do think that is a part of your gifts. Otherwise, I would not notice the Tree of Life symbol like that. So yes, you are different, you're unique, you don't have the same kind of moves as maybe other characters in the video game, so to speak, right? In like a simulation context metaphor. So understand that if everyone is using swords, maybe you have a bow and an arrow, or maybe you just have a knife or something. But that makes you lethal because no one else in the video game is able to maybe wield a knife or a bow and arrow like you do, right? So refine your gifts because that'll take you far. That'll help you create everything and whatever you want. Pile number one. And again, people can definitely compliment you on you being like a one-man show, which is again, being in the star energy. It's not easy, right? People also compliment you on your fashion sense. I'm noticing the fool's clothing, and you're definitely not a trendsetter. You don't really care what the trends are. You will be attracted to classical, timeless things, or even if it is very alternative, it is still very aesthetically pleasing, and you know how to even make a very out there outfit work. And trust me, if other people wore it, it just would not look the same. Pile number one. So even if you are a lot of people's fashion inspiration, they cannot really compete where they don't compare. Yeah, but I definitely would say that in a way, a lot of people, and I would say even people much older than you, they do look up to you. People have this sense of awe when they look at you. It's like when you look at a star, right? You're so mesmerized. You're so much in awe of how beautiful a star can look across like a velvety dark blue night sky, right? And and yet I guess people do sense that maybe there's something going on behind those eyes because again, stars are very beautiful, but in a way they're constantly combusting, right? So, and I do think you have this ability to again find beauty where it does not exist, right? In very painful situations. So you do hold your duality very beautifully, and I think that itself makes you so attractive because most people, they're very imbalanced in their masculine or feminine. That's why they're very aggressive, right? So, but that's not the case over here, I feel. So I do think just being in your aura itself is very healing to people. And I do sense maybe you are a little tired. I do sense you are a little weary because it does feel like you are like an alien walking on earth. But understand that you do belong here, and you will find your people very, very soon. So keep shining regardless because you are like that star energy, right? You are constantly burning up and in a way, sending your light across the universe for whoever is able to witness it, right? So keep doing what you're doing. So it's all good messages. People also talk about your passions over here. People talk about how you really let your passions drive you. And again, there is that consistent Knight of Pentacles energy. So you don't budge, which is again like a lethal combination, right? People definitely want you on their team. And I don't really want to give past people attention, but a lot of people from your past would really like to have you back. So I do sense maybe these are people from your past who are maybe speaking about you. Shuffle some oracle. Have the puffin card, which reads partnership. Accept yourself and your colorful personality. Feel confident about being you. You are a joy bringer. Let your community nourish and protect you. Ask for help. Teamwork will give you the best results. So with the puffin card, I do sense true love is coming to you very, very soon, much sooner than maybe you expect. And maybe don't take on more work than you can handle right now, pile number one. I think that's also a message for you. And definitely collaborate, whether you have physical people to collaborate with or not. If you don't have anyone to collaborate with physically, collaborate with your spirit guides, your ancestors. They're very, very close to you. They're incredibly close to you right now. So speak to them. It's more like a heartfelt conversation, right? So just try to communicate with them through your heart, and you will be able to they will be able to help you ease the denseness that you are in right now, I would say. And understand that not everything, you cannot do so much on your own. You will need help, whether even if it is from the unseen forces, right? And yes, it takes a little while to get used to working with the unseen forces, but trust me, they are more reliable than humans. So yeah, do what you want with that information. Zoom out. Every time you get too much in your ego, and there's too much of this tenseness, just try to zoom out. I think that will again help you a lot, Pile number one. And keep doing what you're doing, keep being in your bubble. I think the right people will come very, very soon. But just know that you're very, very protected, so you have nothing to really worry about. Yeah. Any other messages? Yeah, that's all I have for pile number. Once again, it's a general reading, so please check what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like this video, share, subscribe, comment. It means a lot. It helps the channel grow. And if you want to reach out for a private reading, my email ID and my Instagram handle are given in the description box below, so you can definitely reach out for a private reading. And I will see you guys in the next reading. Thank you. Hello, pile number two. If you chose the Hermetic Tarot, this is your reading on what compliments are people giving you behind your back. And even before we start the reading, I quickly want to say that I will be teaching a tarot course in December, a very intensive tarot course starting December. So if you're interested in learning tarot from me, you can definitely send me an email. And again, if you're interested in a personal reading too, you can send me an email, or you can reach out on Instagram, details given in the description box below. Having said that, let's jump into the reading now on what compliments are people giving pile number two behind their back. Okay, pile number two, we have Fortitude, we have Princess of Wands, Ace of Wands, Temperance, Eight of Swords, Five of Pentacles, Six of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, and we have Five of Swords. Compliments you get behind your back, pile number two. And I think these are people who have maybe seen you grow from one point in your life to another point in your life, and the compliments that they are giving you is you have trailblazed your way through a lot of situations where a lot of people thought they wouldn't see you make it through. So maybe there were a lot of people who were so certain that you would not be able to make through these very difficult, challenging experiences, but regardless, I think you have come out on top winning. We have Five of Swords and we have Five of Pentacles, and they're just above each other. So I don't just think it was all the things you didn't have, but it was also just the terrible behavior of people around you. And it like having Five of Swords is bad enough, but to have circumstantially Five of Pentacles, that's even worse. So it almost seems like you were set up for a failure, but yet in that immense pressure, you have become a beautiful diamond that cannot be broken. In fact, you as a diamond now can be used to cut any glass in the way, right? And I'm in your energy, and I don't even think you're very, very conflicting as a person, or aggressive, but I think you have finally learned how to bring out that animal nature that you have within you to protect you. You know how to turn on your fierceness whenever required and needed. And I know this lesson has been probably not very easy for you to master, but you have now. So you don't have to worry so much about it. You will be able to pull out this fierce part of yourself whenever you need it, whenever you know it is really required to bring out this wrathful nature that you have within yourself. And yet you come off as very youthful, very attractive. You definitely don't look the age that you are, pile number two. And people are very, very infatuated by you as well. So I think a lot of people are wondering if you're single or not. It's just a lot of people have seen you transform, evolve, even people who don't know you yet. It's almost like if we get to see a supernova, right? We wouldn't be able to witness it directly, but it would still be visible, and it would still be like a sight to see, right? If we ever get to see like an actual supernova, right? So I do think you have that very strong, intense energy to you. You are sort of like a, I don't want to say it, but almost like a nuclear reactor. You generate so much energy around you, especially in sort of like your radius, right? So people can't help but take notice as to who this person is, right? So even people who don't know you, they're very intrigued. I think people have all kinds of questions about you. People want to know things about you, and I do sense you are very, very private anyway. So I think that does make the mystery and intrigue around you even more tense, I would say. Again, the Wheel of Fortune. So things that would have taken down anyone, it hasn't taken you down by lumber. To in fact, it has been the reason for your ascent. And no matter what happens, you're able to put yourself back together stronger than you were before. And I do think that is your superpower. And I know people are not maybe saying it this way, but that's what they're trying to imply, that you're still standing, and you're still winning by number two. So any sort of resistance in the way has just helped you get better. So people better know not to cross you, right? I do think maybe these are people you actually talk to. And I think maybe what they're saying is you are maybe too critical. You could have a lot of Virgo in your birth chart, or you could be a Virgo. And with this Virgo energy, it is very meticulous, right? You have to be very precise. You have to be like a master at whatever you choose to do as a Virgo, right? And as a result, I do think the shadow side of it is being extremely critical of yourself, and not knowing when to shut that out, right? And since I said critical, I'm also noticing all the fire in the top section of the rose. So you definitely are very, very fiery. I think fire could also be your element. You need to work with fire. And I think the more you keep even maintain your inner body heat by working out, by even keeping your passions alive, I think the more beautiful, the more radiant, the more youthful you will look. Yeah. But since I said critical, I also want to say that you could have prominent planets in the Kritika Nakshatra, which is in the first decan of Taurus. So you could have that in your chart, because that is again related to cutting and critical thinking, and being able to cut through. Or even if you don't have that, you still have this very masterful ability to just get to the point of people just rambling on, and you're able to maybe dissect the problem and exactly get to the solution. You do have this very intense strike exactly where you need to energy. There's a lot of precision over here. So I think what you also need to do is maybe learn to work better with your mind in a way that it truly remains your best friend, and it doesn't sort of turn on you, right? Another thing that people really love about you is the simplicity. We have Six of Cups. It's always a pleasure interacting with you, or even if people get to see you, whether it's in real life or online, it always puts a smile on people's face. It connects them to this very childlike, joyful wonder of just feeling, right? Of just feeling safe, secure, and good, yet deep. So you do have that very intense reaction, I would say, pile number two. You're very impartial. I would say you're very impartial to people, and that's a good thing. I guess you're only bad to people who've gone out of their way to harm you, which is totally understandable. You're always motivated to look for new avenues for growth. You're never keeping yourself stuck. You're always progressing in one way or another. Even if it is not something other people can gauge, you definitely are constantly growing in one area or another in your life. So you are making the most of your soul's journey, and it is helping your soul expand as well. Again, my eyes are going onto the lion energy, so I do think this life for you is more to assert your dominance, especially in what you do, right? And understand that is a big part of why you're here in a way, to take up that space that you need, right? You're not going to tell a lion to shrink his territory. He will decapitate you right there, right? So again, understand your fierceness over here by number two. And if people are maybe pushing you around, it's time to bring out your claws, right? I'm just noticing we have quite a few of the fixed signs. We have Leo with the Fortitude card, which is strength. We have Five of Pentacles, which is Taurus, Mercury in Taurus. We have Five of Swords, which is Mercury in Aquarius. And we have Six of Cups, which is Scorpio in Sun and Scorpio. So again, we have the tetramorph over here. That is all the four of the fixed signs and the four royal stars in the reading. So your ability to manifest is really highlighted. And since that message to me wasn't very apparent right away, but it took me a minute to realize what I was looking at. Even your ability to manifest, I think it is even hidden from you at times, because there's something about divine timing at play over here where it would almost not work if you used your abilities before the right time. So I do think patience is going to be an incredible virtue for you to cultivate whatever you're trying to cultivate over here, especially your own personal spirituality. So give yourself the time. If you're trying to even push through certain gifts, they will awaken. And like I said, you have crazy manifestation abilities. You don't even have to do a lot. So don't underestimate that. And since you have such a strong ability, be very mindful. We have Eight of Swords in the center of the reading. Be extremely mindful about the kind of thoughts you're having. Don't let your mind control you. You control your mind. And you do get to dictate to a very great extent the kind of thoughts you get to have. And I'm not saying suppress the thought, interact with it. Don't create a self out of it, and let it dissolve. And consciously, mindfully try to have more positive thoughts. That'll again help you, because we have Eight of Swords, which is again Jupiter in Gemini, and Jupiter in Gemini is debilitated, right? Because it's the opposite sign of Jupiter's rulership, which is Sagittarius. So definitely keep your mind in check. And if there is too much mental activity, do something physical. That will exhaust the mind. If you're not able to control your mind, control the body first. That's the way to go. Yeah. So focus on your health, definitely. Besides that, it's all good. People only have good things to say, and people are surprised. And I would say even you inspire people that you don't really care to inspire, because it's just, again, it's in your field of energy. It's your aura, right? By number two, since that's the word people like to use these days. Your personal focus is going to be very, very important right now. Take your aim very, very properly, and you will hit bullseye over here with whatever you're trying to achieve. Again, it's all this fire. There's so much fire in this reading. So stay connected to your inner fire. Keep your fire hot and alive. Let it let it sustain, and you will constantly have this very ethereal glow about you. Pile number two, and that's also something people really compliment you on, even if they don't understand what it is. Yeah, I'm hearing, how do you look so fresh all the time? Concealer? No, it's definitely your aura. Wait, pile number two. Shuffle some oracle. Okay, pile number two, we have the Swan card, which reads Grace. You who glides across the waters of my soul, bring me your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty. So I'm just noticing the iris on the Swan card, and the iris in the traditional tarot is also a symbol of the bow and the arrow. So I do think there's a real emphasis over here on what you're trying to aim for, and maybe you need to aim for something higher. I think maybe you're keeping yourself stuck and underestimated. Maybe your little pond is all you have known, but maybe you need to want to live in a bigger pond, right? So don't keep yourself small. Want more for yourself right now. I do think that is a message for you, pile number two. But coming back to what people compliment you on is your gracefulness. It is your ability to remain graceful, humble, grounded, in touch with your reality, in touch with who you are, in touch with your feelings, regardless of the very extremes you have experienced in your life. And with the Swan card, I'm also getting the ugly duckling for some reason. And, the duckling wasn't ugly, he was just different, right? So you do have that very different sort of the energy over here. So use that. Use that to your advantage. And you're supposed to use that to your advantage. So, stop wasting time. And really go after your greatness, and you will be able to just glide to your success, whatever that looks for you, means for you, with so much ease and grace. Yeah, don't be your biggest enemy right now. I think that's the message. Anything else? Yeah, that's all I have for pile number two. Is again, it's a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like this video, share, subscribe, comment. It means a lot. It helps the channel grow, and if you want to reach out for a private reading, you can definitely do that. My email ID and my Instagram handle are given in the description box below, so you can definitely reach out for a private reading, and I'll see you guys in the next reading. Thank you. Hello, pile number three. If you chose Tarot of the Owls, this is your reading on what compliments are people giving you behind your back. And even before we jump into the reading, I quickly want to announce that I will be teaching a very intensive tarot course starting December. So if you're interested in learning tarot from me, you can definitely send me an email. My details are given in the description box below. If you're interested in getting a personal reading, you can do the same. My email, my Instagram are given in the description box below, so you can definitely reach out for a private reading. Having said that, let's jump into the reading on what compliments do people give you behind your back. Okay, by number three, we have the Hermit, Strength, Two of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, the Lovers, Two of Wands, Two of Swords, Nine of Wands, and the Hangman. So we have Two of Pentacles, Two of Wands, and we have Two of Swords. A lot of twos over here. Something to notice right away. Compliments that people give you behind your back, especially with the twos, is you're very adaptable to change. Even if it is not something that comes to you naturally, you understand that maybe there's certain tweakings that you have to make to get the perfect result that you need. And you don't stay stuck in the doubt, you don't stay stuck in the indecisiveness. You embrace change swiftly, and you go after whatever you want over here. So people definitely compliment you on your productivity, on just the amount of body of work you're able to put out over here, whether in the public eye or even if you're in the corporate over here. It is your diligence, it is your work ethic. And people also see you as incredibly wise, whether you're a tarot reader, astrologer, or even if you are in the very worldly life, you have this divine wisdom to you. You definitely are able to channel whatever information people need. You always say the right things at the right time that people need to hear. So And I don't think you were always like that. I definitely sense that you have cultivated that for yourself. You've definitely cultivated that through your own experiences, things that have even hurt you, right? That's where all this wisdom is coming from. So I don't think people always understand that, but people do appreciate when you have wise words to say. People really look after your advice over here. Pile number two. And you're not the kind of person who will get too anxious or too nervous. Even if you do, you learn to wait it out. You understand that the answers will come to you at the right time. You don't have to go outside yourself looking for it. And trust me, you save so much time and energy that could have been wasted if you did that, right? So you let answers come to you. You understand that the mystery of the you understand that the mystery of the riddle is to not get an answer right away. And even if you get an answer right away, it's probably not the right answer, right? You understand that you have to sort of allow yourself to even germinate in not knowing, and just constantly having to contemplate and eventually reaching a point of realization, right? So there's this very strong enlightened energy that you also have here with Hamid starting the reading. And yet you are very mystical, but you're also very very magical. We have the Queen of Wands, and doesn't matter if you're male, female, anything in the middle. You're very confident, you're very very attractive. You definitely have witchy abilities. You definitely know how to manipulate energy, whether you do it consciously or not. But people also do compliment you sort of on that, and these are maybe people who do understand magic. So they do like how you go about maybe doing certain things, right? Or maybe certain things that you're manifesting in your life, and people can clearly see the amazing things that you're manifesting, right? So people can definitely say that there's something different about you, even if they're not always able to articulate it that well, right? People can also compliment you a lot on how harmonious you are with yourself. You're very balanced in your own individuality, in your own polarity, in your masculine and your feminine, and you know when is what required. So again, it makes you very efficient. It makes you very, it also makes you very likable, right? Because you're not going to resist unnecessarily. Your ego is not going to create problems, right? Another thing people really compliment you on, pile number three, is your ability to even look at things from a very different point of view. You don't keep yourself limited to just one way of looking at things. There is no rigidity over here. Even if you are stubborn, you yet have a capacity to allow transformation and change, and you do understand that that is actually for your betterment. You're not going to resist the good in your life. And trust me, this makes you incredibly powerful. And oftentimes, the way you look at the world might be directly opposite to how the world, most of the world sees the whole world. So you are operating from a higher dimension. I do sense you are extremely clairvoyant, or your psychic abilities are high, and they're going to only increase from this point for you. I do sense that with the Hangman. But maybe there's also an emphasis over here on you actually doing spiritual practices like yoga or whatever you feel called to, especially to raise your energy, because we also have the strength card over there. So Reiki, Tai Chi, just learning to build up your energy body, your light body, all those things are very, very important for you. And it will again help you and aid you in your own journey, and it will help you progress to where you need to be. And again, I'm using the Owl card tarot deck. So wisdom is going to be key for you to unlock anything in your life. And I do think this pile particularly, I do think maybe you have tried living a normal life. You've tried doing things like most people, but it hasn't really worked out for you. If at all, you've only gotten like a slap on your face. So there is an emphasis over here on you having to walk your spiritual path, whether you like it or not. So don't keep yourself confused. Like I said, you don't keep yourself confused, but I do sense a sense of weariness. I do think you're thinking why you're even doing all of this, right? But it is for your own soul's growth. It is for your own betterment, and it is also to actually find people who will truly be there for you, and people who will truly understand you without you having to over explain yourself, right? I think we're just so used to having to over explain ourselves that It's very unfathomable. It's very unfathomable to even imagine having someone who would just telepathically understand you. But that's what you deserve, pile number three. And if you till you don't get that, I don't think you should settle. So again, people are talking about your resilience. People are talking about how you take charge and you make things happen that you need to and you want to magically, or whatever way that is required for you to do that. But you're also walking in with your divinity over here. That's why you're able to accomplish so much. There are higher forces at play over here that are definitely helping you. So definitely have a lot more gratitude. I do think that will again just make your life so much more better than it already is. But people definitely compliment you on how blessed you are and how also you don't take your blessings for granted, right? I think a lot of people are in love with you because again, you are very unique, but I do sense that you have your guard up. You're not allowing a lot of people in right now, perhaps. So take your time with it, I guess. And the right people will stick around, you know. You can really see in the real sense of seeing. You can truly see through any illusions. You can see psychically by number three, and you are supposed to use your gifts. Again, I'm noticing how the owl on the hangman card, he's tilting his head and he's trying to focus in. And what I know of owls is their ears are not equal, they're not symmetrical, they're a little up and down. So it increases their ability to perceive and the ability to hear across great distances, and with a lot of fineness that they can really hear the sounds that most humans would not be able to. For example, rats under the tunnel. They can clearly hear that because of their hearing. So even clairaudience for you is going to be very, very important. And I do think you will get more access to your abilities over a period of time. And again, you are going to be using them to help people. So people definitely compliment you even on your psychic abilities over here. People definitely also want to learn from you the secret sauce. But you understand that the secret sauce cannot just be taught, right? It takes years and years of endless effort at your end to even have this beautiful magical energy that you are in, right? Yeah, I'm hearing she's a witch. So yeah, people definitely talk about your magical, mystical abilities. But that's always a compliment, right? I've never seen that as like a bad thing. Shuffle some oracle. Okay, by number three, we have the lizard, which reads regeneration. As a survivor, you are unparalleled. No matter what happens, you can adapt. Embrace your transformation. Put on your new cloak, and you are the master of regeneration. So isn't that exactly how I started the reading, talking about your ability to adapt and not be stuck in doubt or indecisiveness and allowing even your rigidity to move, right? But the beauty about lizards is if they are in a sticky situation, they can detach their tail and they can scurry away, right? So that is the beautiful magic that you have within yourself, right? And lizards are also related to dragons. So you definitely have that draconic energy within you. So learn to channel that better. It's very much there. And I do think you will face a lot of unusual situations, but I only sense that all of this is only happening so you can get more powerful. Because I do sense you have a very big destiny ahead of you, especially spiritually over here for my people who are very spiritual, and I do sense a lot of y'all are. So it is all going to make sense even if it doesn't make sense right now. Just walk your path. I think that's the main message for you. Any other messages? Yeah, that's all I have for pile number 3. Again, it's a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like this video. Share, subscribe, comment. It means a lot. It helps the channel grow. And if you want to reach out for private reading, you can definitely do that. My email ID and my Instagram handle are given in the description box below. So you can definitely reach out for private reading, and I'll see you guys in the next video.